My dear friends, thank you for coming today. Please, sit comfortably. Allow yourself this moment to simply be present. Breathe in gently ... and breathe out slowly. You are here. You are safe. And I am honored to share this time with you. Life, as we all know, is not without its wounds. Emotional pain, whether it arises from grief, betrayal, loneliness, failure, or fear, touches every single human heart at some point. Just as the body can break, so can the heart. And just as we learn to care for a physical injury, so too must we learn how to care for our emotional wounds. Today, I invite you to walk with me on a gentle path, guided by the teachings of the Buddha, a path that leads not to the erasure of pain, but to understanding, transformation, and peace. Many people think that the Buddhist path is about escaping pain. But that is not quite true. Buddhism teaches us not to escape our suffering, but to face it, to embrace it, and to see it clearly. It is only through understanding suffering that we can be free from it. When the Buddha sat beneath the Bodhi tree, over 2,500 years ago, he did not run away from his suffering. He turned toward it. He looked deeply into the nature of his pain, into the suffering of the world, and what he saw was profound. He saw that all beings suffer, that suffering arises from attachment and craving, and that there is a way to end the suffering. He called this the Four Noble Truths. You may have heard of them. The first truth is simple, yet powerful. Life contains suffering, dukkha. Not in a pessimistic way, but in a realistic way. We suffer when we lose what we love. We suffer when things change. We suffer when we don't get what we want. Even in moments of joy, there's often a quiet anxiety that it might not last out. The second truth tells us that this suffering has a cause: our clinging, our grasping, our resistance. We hold on to people, outcomes, identities, and dreams. And when they slip from our hands, as everything inevitably does, we hurt. The third truth is filled with hope. If suffering has a cause, it also has an end. When we release our clinging, suffering fades. And the fourth truth is the path, the Noble Eightfold Path, a guide to living wisely, ethically, and mindfully. It is a way of healing, step by step. Now I know that when we are in the depths of emotional pain, these teachings can feel abstract. If your heart is breaking, if you're filled with anger, sadness, or despair, you might be thinking, these are just words. How can they possibly heal me? Let me tell you a story. It's an old one, but it is always new. There was once a woman named Kisa Gotami. She was a devoted mother, and her only child fell ill and died. She was inconsolable. She carried her son's lifeless body from house to house, begging someone to give her a medicine that would bring him back to life. Eventually, she came to the Buddha. Gently, he looked at her and said, "I can help you. But first, bring me a mustard seed from a house that has never known death." Filled with hope, she went from door to door. But at every house, she heard the same thing. Death has visited. Here too, we have lost someone we loved. Slowly, the truth began to dawn on her, not just the death of her child, but the shared nature of suffering. Her pain was not a punishment. It was not personal. It was human. She returned to the Buddha and said, "I understand now." And she laid her son to rest. This story teaches us a powerful lesson. Emotional pain often isolates us. We think, why me? But when we open our eyes, we see that pain is part of the human experience. When we recognize this, we stop resisting and begin to heal. Mindfulness is a cornerstone of Buddhist healing. To be mindful means to be present with whatever is arising, without judgment. It means sitting with your sadness like you would with an old friend. Breathing with your anxiety without pushing it away. Imagine you are sitting quietly and a painful emotion arises, maybe loneliness. Instead of distracting yourself or pretending it's not there, you simply say, "Ah, loneliness is here." You breathe in, acknowledge it. You breathe out, soften around it. You create space for it, without identifying with it. You are not your loneliness. You are the awareness of it. This shift from being overwhelmed by emotion to observing it with kindness is transformative. And there's another lesson the Buddha gave us: impermanence. Everything arises and passes. No feeling is final. No wound stays open forever. This does not mean your pain is not real. It means it will not last. A woman once came to a Zen master, crying over a broken relationship. She said, "Will I ever be happy again?" The master picked up a teacup, showed it to her, and said, "See this cup? I love it. I use it every day. But I know one day it will fall and break. So I treat it with care while I have it. And when it breaks, I do not mourn it forever." He set the cup down and said, "Everything is like this. Appreciate it fully. Let it go gracefully." So much of our emotional pain comes from our resistance to change. But change is life. When we open our hands and let go, we begin to feel free. Now, you may be wondering, but what about betrayal? What about the pain caused by others? Ah yes, this pain cuts deep. Trust, once broken, is hard to mend, but the Buddha taught us the power of compassion. Not just for others, but for ourselves. We must learn to forgive, not because others always deserve it, but because we deserve peace. Holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. It only harms you. When we forgive, we are not saying what happened was okay. We are simply saying, "I will no longer carry this burden." The Buddha once said, "Hatred does not cease by hatred, but by love alone is healed." And love begins with self-love. Many of us are harsh toward ourselves. We think, "I should be stronger. I shouldn't feel this way." But the path of healing begins with gentleness. Speak to yourself as you would to a dear friend. It's okay to hurt. I am here for you. Practice metta-loving kindness meditation. Sit quietly and send thoughts of well-being to yourself. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be free from suffering. Then extend it to others. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be peaceful, even to those who have hurt you. Especially them. It is not easy, but it is liberating. Let me tell you one more story. There was once a monk who was imprisoned for many years. When he was finally released, someone asked, "Were you ever afraid?" He replied, "Yes, I was afraid I would lose my compassion for my captors." Can you imagine? After all he endured, he still held compassion in his heart. That is true freedom. That is healing. My dear friends, healing emotional pain is not about forgetting. It is not about pretending to be fine. It is about facing your pain with courage, understanding it with wisdom, and embracing it with compassion. It is about returning to this moment over and over again and realizing that in this very breath, you are okay. Remember this. You are not broken. You are not alone. You are not weak for feeling deeply. You are human. And being human is sacred. The path of healing is not a straight line. Some days will be heavy. Some days will be light. But every step you take in awareness, every moment you choose compassion, is a step toward peace. So sit, breathe, feel, cry if you must, laugh when you can, and always, always come back to the present. For it is here that your healing lives. Thank you for sharing this time with me. If my words have touched your heart, if you found even a small light in this darkness, I invite you to walk further with us. Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, Buddha's Wisdom, where we continue to explore the teachings of the Buddha, share stories, and walk together on this path of mindfulness, peace, and compassion. May you be well. May you be free. May your heart be at peace. Namaste.